America's shutdown is now entering day 3. The Senate will have the chance to vote again today on both the clean continuing resolution from the Republicans and the Democrats' counterproposal to keep government funded. The GOP's keeps government funded through November 21st. The president met with his Office of Budget Management chief, Russell Vought, yesterday in Washington, and they discussed which, quote, Democrat agencies can be cut out of government either temporarily or permanently. President Trump actually gave a shout-out to Democrats on his Truth Social yesterday for giving him what he called such an unprecedented opportunity to cut federal spending. Joining me now is U.S. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. Secretary, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And Russ Vought this morning just said on X that he is going to freeze $2.1 billion in federal funding to Chicago's infrastructure projects over DEI use in its contracting. Talk to us about how this shutdown is impacting the Interior Department, Secretary.
Well, good morning, Maria. And, first of all, this isn't, it's been described as the Schumer shutdown, but I would call this the super selfish Schumer shutdown because there's no political leverage here for the Democrats. It is actually creating an opportunity for President Trump to cut federal spending. But it's just a bizarre thing. And I think the thing that, you understand the threat from China. China doesn't shut down their government over some kind of, completely selfish political reason of one party or even one person. China knows it's in an AI arms race with the U.S. and they're charging ahead 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This shutdown, again, essential services for Americans and also for Interior, wildland firefighters. You start trying, you don't have the money to keep parks open. We're fighting to keep our parks open. We've got over 20 friends groups. We've got the state of West Virginia yesterday, people contributing because we can't use appropriated dollars during this time. We're tapping into other sources of revenue to keep the parks open. But that's all about the recreation economy. There's a $1.2 trillion recreation economy that depends on this 20% of the U.S. that's public lands, hunters, fishermen, communities, the gateway communities to parks. You start shutting down the government and you're hurting small businesses across the entire West, across almost every state has got someone that benefits from this. So, this is a shutdown. It's bad for the American people. It's bad for our competitiveness versus China. It's bad in terms of the AI arms race. It's bad in terms of permitting oil and gas and on federal lands. So again, this just has to stop. Schumer and Democrats have no leverage, and President Trump's right. If they want to keep this thing going, it just gives all of us on the Trump team an opportunity to continue to cut spending that the waste, fraud, and abuse that we were elected to get rid of.
Yeah, but how much wiggle room do we have here, Secretary, in terms of how long this goes on? I mean, you're in the middle of projects. The Interior Department recently opened 13.1 million acres of federal land for coal leasing. You tripled the standards set by the Big Beautiful Bill in an effort to restore American energy dominance. I'm wondering what happens now. In the middle of all of your efforts, government shutdown, how much time do you have to keep these projects up and running?
Well, as you say, again, Maria, this makes no sense from a business perspective. I mean, no business and really no other countries, I think, would run themselves the way we do this, where we get in, allow political spats to shut down the essential services of government. And one of those essential services right now is to make sure that we've got the energy to keep our grid stable and keep our country rolling. And so, again, the selfishness and the narrow-minded approach of Democrats to try to think that there's some leverage here when they're hurting America, they're hurting the citizens of this country, and they're aiding our adversaries.
Right. And in the meantime, on Monday, the Department of Energy announced a $625 million investment to boost coal mining. Secretary Chris Wright broke the story right here on this program. Listen to this.
We're announcing today expanded programs to help the American coal industry. And we're helping it just because for years it's been under assault. But it's critical to America's industrial might, not just for electricity, as you mentioned. It's our third largest source of electricity after natural gas and nuclear. But we also use it. It's the backbone of steel production. It's critical for cement production. Coal just makes the world go round. And they've tried to strangle it, particularly the Biden administration, starting with the Obama administration. We're going to provide some funding to upgrade existing coal plants, keep them open, even add some pollution controls so they run cleaner and better. But coal's got a long future. As long as the lives of anyone alive today, Let's stop pretending it's going away, or stop wishing it was going away. It's critical to our country.
And you've had your hands on the wheel now since day one. Secretary, you've talked often about delivering beautiful, clean coal. How can you do it?
Well, I first have to say I agree 100% with everything that Chris Wright just said, and we had a great Coal Day 2.0. President Trump kicked it off earlier this spring with a Coal Day at the White House. Lee Zeldin, Chris Wright, and I all making announcements this past Monday. Again, stopping the strangulation by regulation of this important industry. That coal produces 20% of America's electricity. The Biden administration was punishing baseload like coal, and they were rewarding intermittent, unreliable, and expensive sources. China's doing just the opposite. China gets 60% of their electricity from coal, and they opened 93 coal plants last year, each one with a gigawatt of power. That's like 93 Denver's worth of power. That's opening a giant coal plant, a gigawatt coal plant every 4 days in China. That's what we're up against, and we need that base load for grid stabilization. We need it for the AI arms race. So again, together through the National Energy Dominance Council, which President Trump created, and Lee Zeldin, Chris Wright, and I all playing roles on there, along with a half a dozen other cabinet secretaries. We're doing everything we can to make sure we've got affordable, reliable electricity in this country, and that means opening up these amazing coal resources that we have in our country, as opposed to shutting them down. And when we open those up, of course, energy producers write a check to the federal government. It helps balance the budget as well as helps lower electric prices.
Is this government shutdown slowing down the permitting process? Because those companies need permitting, and they need to know that these things will be codified long term.
Well, certainly this shutdown slows down everything virtually for the government. We're doing, again, everything we can. We've said that people that are permitting are essential employees. We're trying to keep them open in the Permian out west, in the Bakken out west, making sure that we're working with we have, the big coal announcement on Monday, and then 2 days later, we're shut down. So again, whether it's national parks and whether it's permitting, whether it's wildland firefighters, whether it's law enforcement across all of the public lands that we have, where we've got 5 different law enforcement agencies, or even here in Washington, D.C. with the United States Park Police, doing everything we can to keep those essential workers going. But it's just a giant waste of time. And again, Schumer, super selfish. Democrats have got no leverage. I hope that the Senate today, I hope there's 7 Democrats that understand that they have a better chance of getting reelected, in this case, voting with the Republicans.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Well, look, John Fetterman was there from day one. You had 2 Democrats already. We'll see if you can get 5 more. Secretary, good to see you. Thank you, sir. Secretary Doug Burgum.
Great to see you, Maria. Thank you.